Welcome to a short introduction to the Lithuanian language. In this first part, we introduce the language, establish the milestones on your Lithuanian journey, and explore the history of the language. Next, you will have a chance to learn some basic Lithuanian phrases and some fun facts, as well as seeing some quotes from other students. Finally, there will be 2 short tests just to see how much you learned. Lithuanian is a small language that is spoken by about 4 million people globally. One American student once said, "You're a small nation, which is why you have such a big language." And there are a number of reasons for this. First of all, Lithuanian is a very archaic language. It belongs to the Baltic branch of Indo-European languages and is known to have changed the least compared to all other living languages in this big language family. There are only 2 Baltic languages which have survived until today: Lithuanian and Latvian. Lithuanian is closely related to Latin, ancient Greek, and Sanskrit, the classical language of ancient India. Yes, Sanskrit. Lithuanian is that old, and it is still spoken today. Essentially, Lithuanian is read phonetically, or as it is written, so one just has to know which sound each letter stands for in order to correctly pronounce the word. In this respect, Lithuanian is much more modern than, for instance, English or French.
A. Ačiū. A nosinė. Sąskaita. B. Bananas. C. Pica. Č. Čekija. D. 2. E. Estija. E nosinė. Kęstutis. E. Kėdė. F. Futbolas. G. Gerai. H. Helsinkis. I. Italija. I nosinė. Truputį. I ilgoji. Berlynas. J. Jis. Ji. K. Kava. L. Labas. M. Mano. N. Ne. O. Olandija. P. Paryžius. R. Ryga. S. Sėkmės. Š. Švedija. T. Tu. U. Ukraina. U nosinė. Siųsti. U ilgoji. Jūs. V. Vilnius. Z. Zebras. Ž. Žuvis.
Those strange funny signs on some Lithuanian letters are not just for decoration.
A nosinė. E nosinė. I nosinė. U nosinė. U ilgoji.
Are longer versions of
A. E. I. U.
and
Č. Š. Ž. E.
stand for totally different sounds than
C. S. Z. E.
Melodic and pleasant to the ear, Lithuanian may appear to be a real mind-bender because of its conservative character. Lithuanian has different cases, that is, the connections between words are expressed by declining them, changing the endings. Look. Are there many different words? No, just one. Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania.
Tai yra Vilnius.
This is Vilnius.
Aš esu iš Vilniaus.
I am from Vilnius.
Važiuojame į Vilnių.
We are going to Vilnius.
Gyvenu Vilniuje.
I live in Vilnius. Lithuanian has two easily recognizable genders, masculine and feminine. You can tell them by word endings. Lithuanian language is special simply because of the fact it survived to this day at all. It was often forced to make a to be or not to be decision. One might call the Lithuanian language a living miracle, or a phoenix rising from the ashes. It has endured a lot of hardships and could have easily disappeared. Not only the language, but also Lithuania itself could have been wiped off the political map of Europe forever many times throughout history. However, stubborn Lithuanians persisted in speaking their own language, and today they are immensely proud of it. During the Middle Ages, Lithuanian Grand Dukes and nobility spoke Lithuanian. However, Lithuanian language had no written form back then. Latin and Chancery Slavonic languages were used for written communication. Later, the Lithuanian language was pushed to the margins. When Lithuania formed a union with Poland, the elite of Lithuania adopted the Polish language and culture. At the time when Lithuania was part of the Russian Empire, the Russian language was imposed. Extremely drastic measures against the Lithuanian language and culture were carried out after the Second Uprising against the Tsarist rule. All Lithuanian schools were closed and a ban of Lithuanian press began. One could only use the Cyrillic alphabet, but not Latin, on which the Lithuanian alphabet is based. Imagine suddenly having to use a totally new alphabet for any written texts. Although Lithuania's statehood stretches back to the 13th century, it was only after World War I that the language was given an official status. Lithuanian as the official language was stated in the constitution of the newly found Republic of Lithuania. However, this flourishing period of the state, the nation and the language was very short, disrupted by World War II and Soviet and German occupations. During the long decades of the Soviet occupation, the Russian language dominated the public life. Only after regaining independence was the Lithuanian language restored to its full status and is now the only official state language. There are many Polish speakers in Vilnius and Vilnius region, and Russian is widely known and spoken not only by local Russian and Polish people, but by many ethnic Lithuanians as a second language next to English as well. Now, would you like to pick up some Lithuanian? We hope that our short course will be useful and fun and will whet your appetite for more. Ready, steady, go! Good luck!